So basically over the weekend what I did was I took the graphic section, which is my content section, and I did the process of taking what we have currently and transitioning it to our published document. And what I learned was a lot about the process of how we're going to transition these Word documents to the actual published product. So here you can see what the book's looking like right now. So it's in the page format. You see the margins. So just a reminder, the 1-inch margin on the left, or the outside page, 1-inch margin for the header, a 1/2-inch margin on the bottom, and a 1.8-inch margin, which is a 1-inch margin with a 0.8-inch gutter. That's on the inside of the page. So you can see, you can see the headers or the headings. So it's just kind of standard, you know. No images in it, but you know, it's standard and clean, which is what we're going for. So I think on that front it was a success. So I just want to show you what we had before. So this is what we're currently kind of working with. This is clearly what everyone's section sort of looks like right now. I mean, it's a Word document, but there's some
I just want to say this now because I just want to get ahead of it. We're not copying my comments and putting them in there and giving Joseph that headache. So before you take your revised sections and you move on, delete my comments. Go ahead.
Yeah. So you just do that. It'll be helpful. So that's what we have right now. So what we have to do is we're going to put in this template, right? So that's the first thing. So this template is what it looks like now. So that's what that section looked before, and this is what it looks like in the template. So you can see how it looks pretty similar to what it looks like in our published document, minus the font, of course. So you can see that. So what we're doing really is, first and foremost, we got to get this Word document with the template in. So you put your text in here. You apply the font settings, which will be standard on the document, which will be in the style.
Can you show us doing that right now?
Yeah, for sure. So, say like this, and we say it's like a stock Times New Roman or whatever. You go up here to the style, which is normal, which is going to be our 12-point German font and double space.
So when you put your stuff into the template, the first thing you're going to do is convert all text to normal, and then you're going to go to your headers. Can you show us that?
Yeah, exactly. So here, that was not really a heading. Let's just go to bold there. So here's the primary heading, the first level of scope in the document. So let's say that this was imported here, and let's say we did a Control A with a select all. We applied normal to the entire document just to get kind of a standard formatting, right? So we go to our headings, which you should already have identified. Don't lose track of them. So this is our main level heading. So we'll go heading 1. We'll just apply it right there, and then correct spacing, font, size are all applied to the heading. So as long as you just get to the line where you're going to apply that style, you just hit that line, and you just get the right style, which is heading 1 for the main scope, heading 2 for the subsections. So apply that. Here's the subsection. So it's like this was normal. Do a heading 2, and then it'll indicate a subsection.
So if you don't know from someone else's section if you have a first heading or a second heading, that's something that you need to find out between now and next class and make that adjustment.
Yeah, that needs to be clearly defined. We need to follow this format. So basically what it's going to be...
We only have 2 levels of heading, yes?
Yes, that's it.
And our chapter titles are heading 1?
No. So I suppose would it be 10.3 or...
So what is the chapter, you can address that later.
Okay.
That's a change you can do in some places.
Okay, sure. So the important thing with the spacing is, so once you get the fonts applied, that's the first and foremost thing. Get the fonts applied, get the right fonts, get the right size headings, make sure the scopes are defined. you'll notice that we're not tabbing in the headings. We're defining what level they are by what font they're using, which follows the style of the book. So once we have that defined, you need to get the spacing correct. So this whole thing is double spaced. So with a subsection leading to another paragraph, there's no additional spaces. See that? It's just right.
So no spaces between headings and their content, but a space between the end of a section and the new header.
Exactly.
You will press enter once and then again, right?
Yeah. So
Can you bring that titles up to it and show them how to do that?
yeah.
Can you use the arrow key to show me?
The arrow key?
Yeah, up and down,
Oh.
the level.
Yeah.
There. Does it go down one between that and the table? Okay, so it's just one. Is it really one? That seems really big for one.
Okay.
This is just the double spacing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because like I said, just for the simplicity's sake, we made the whole thing double spaced. Just makes it, I think, and I think we just want that open, kind of spaced out look. That was kind of the whole guiding philosophy for this design. So
Technical editors,
with
this
that.
is something that you guys are gonna need to be on top of because people aren't looking between sections and they may have consistent spacing in theirs and then you know, library's got 3 spaces and this one's got 2 and it looks consistent to each group and it's gonna be your job to be the person in there. I know like right now, diverse audiences has a bunch of spaces different, so that's whoever's in charge of that's gotta change that. Okay, so that's something that's gonna become a big deal. Brandon?
Wait, did you hit heading 2 for titles, labels, and captions?
I think that may have been.
It is an heading too.
I think that's supposed to be heading 1. Yeah, that's supposed to be.
It's still going to Arial though. Oh, did you import the font? Or is that just gonna be how they're doing it themselves?
No, that I just did a standard font because I didn't want to have the headache of everyone trying to get a custom font. And then
Oh, so we're doing Arial now?
No, just for the template.
Oh.
Right, yeah.
And then for the template, when you load it into the final template, you're gonna change those things?
Yeah, exactly. Well, because what it does, and I'll show
What you
you.
can do is when you change heading 1, it changes all headings.
Exactly, yeah.
So it's really important that you mark yours as heading 1s and heading 2s, so that Joseph doesn't have inconsistent font sizes when he changes them from the global level.
Yeah, so you can see how these first level scope, headings, and then let's see that here. So we're just using these headings and these spacings to correctly determine what text needs to go on which page in the content section. So this is determining what the page layout is going to be, and then we're transitioning that to the actual published document.
If I wrote something about a block quote in your section and you just ignore it, you're losing the entire class problems, like points on this. So one thing I want to know is, Joseph, when we do block quotes, which means double indented quotes, are we having a different system for that, or is that going to be the same way? If it's longer than 3 lines, if you have a quote longer than 3 lines, it's got to be double indented in according to MLA format.
Okay.
So if we're not doing it that way, then we need new instructions. So that might be something that you want to look at.
Okay, yeah.
And if your section has a quote that's longer than 3 lines, 3 full lines, there's some adjustment that needs to be made there. Diverse audiences, I just read yours, you guys have like 13.
Okay, so that was not something, because I just did my section and I didn't have one,
Yeah.
so. I'll take a look at that and then I'll get the word out on what to do for those.
Can I just look at something?
Yeah.
Show you it in this format. So if, I'm gonna use, just press, get on only, press enter,
Behind it or before?
before it, press enter right there,
Uh-huh.
press tab, and then go up to multiple and press tab again. Again? Okay, so then go to U and press enter right in front of you.
What?
Go to U, what's the next sentence?
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Press enter. Okay, now go to typically and tab it in. And then, so you see how the indentation is a single indent here, right? And then a double indent here. If you have a quote that's longer than 3 full lines, it needs to be done in that way without quotation marks, and then your citation, the only time the parentheses is on the outside here. That's something that on our final edit, I'm going to have to send to general editors to fix, or you're gonna have to be in communication with Joseph for that. So Joseph, aside from spacing around headings, changing font sizes, and marking the quotes that are longer than 3 lines. Is there
Right.
anything else you want them to do on this initial? Images wise or anything like that?
Yeah, you need to be putting in the images, so just, I think technical editors, unless we have a different opinion on this, I think we're just gonna have images are placed under the paragraph they're referenced in, is that
Yeah.
fair? Okay. So that's one, so whatever paragraph you're referencing an image in, put it immediately beneath it. So just insert it,
I have issues with some of the images that we have, especially like the resolution of them. So some people have decided to just delete them and they don't need them because they're excess. But I would like on Tuesday for you to have we turned in images to you?
Yeah.
So I would like for you to have like, hey, I need a new image now.
Okay.
It needs to be this size, and Tuesday for different groups.
Okay, got it. So we have that, so here's the spacing, so for this, I think this was actually, yeah, okay, that was fine, so. Have the spacing here, 1 space. In between the subsections, we're gonna do, space, 1 space. So as
You
long as you're
you can
facing.
see those, go back up.
Yeah. So those were kind of ones I just left.
That
in.
types and drawings, what level heading is that? You can see when you highlight that,
Yeah.
look up at those boxes, they're not gonna be highlighted?
Oh, yeah.
Or I guess you can just be on the line. You see how it still says normal? That's a problem for everyone. So that's a second level heading, so he's gonna wanna go heading 2 for that,
Exactly.
because it's indented in. So can you mark that as heading 2 up there? And then the top one, right, it's a heading 1. Bang, now that's ready. And there's no space between those?
Yeah.
There's a space above it, or does there need to be a space above it?
Yeah, there's space.
There it is. Now we're in our format.
Yeah.
That is what we need to do between now and next class and be ready to have that checked on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And images dropped in, and Libacy's gonna at least put it in its place, and Libacy's gonna tell you the size of what they need to be.
Yeah.
Anything else for today?
Yeah, just one more thing. So there was the first part of this, which is getting the Word document. The second part, which I'm going to show you real quick, is so for this publication software, our formatting is applied by our styles. So when we actually put in the text to this software, I had the text box. It's not coming up. Never had this happen before. What's going on? Well, so for some reason that's not coming up. I really don't know what's going on with that. So basically what it is it looks like this plain text. So there's a window that comes up, we just put in the plain text, and then the software applies the formatting directly to that. So what I need is, I need that Word document that shows the formatting of how it's going to be spaced out on the page, so we can get an approximation of what length text is going to be. We also need this plain text, which is going to be just the text out of your document, thrown in this notepad document, apply the spacing. So it's just going to be each paragraph, space after it, heading.
So we're gonna be putting it into templates.
Yeah, we're going to be
Through
putting the Word
Microsoft Word to figure out what's on a page.
Right.
And then we're gonna take that and dump that into a WordPad document and give that to you.
Yeah, the plain text. So that makes it easier to put it into the Scribus document.
So if we can get images placed and have all that ready on Tuesday, then you can give them the green light to start doing this. Once they give this to you, are they finished?
Yeah, yeah, they're finished.
And then that means you're gonna help other people out who aren't. So that's gonna be a big deal. How do you want them to save these notepad documents? Maybe page 1, page 2, page 3, or whatever? When are we gonna know pages? Before that notepad movement or after that notepad movement?
before. Well, we want the, well, ideally we need kind of both of them together. I mean, we can work off a Word template if we need to. So just,
We could also use Roman numerals for the what was it? You said not content pages, but the beginning.
What are you talking about?
Table of contents or anything.
Oh yeah, the table of contents page is gonna be like IV. Yeah, that's fine.
oh, right.
Set up a system for that, JC, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's one thing you're gonna want literacy to get ahead of.
Yeah.
Before people start converting this, we're not gonna do that between now and next class, we'll start that in class. But we're gonna have to have a system that's really good for that. And then
Yeah,
we're gonna-
if you can, like, so literally as soon as we get to class, that's one of the things we'll be working on, right?
Yeah.
And also give you the ability to answer any questions in person, look
Exactly.
over it in person and all that good stuff.
Mhm.
So if you could have, like, we'll have the video.
Yeah.
If there is any written material, like a direction sheet.
Sure.
That you wanna add with that, that'd be great.
Yeah, I think what Dr. Jonas and I were talking about, we're gonna do a style sheet just for this kind of formatting.
Simple,
Right.
like spacing
Yeah.
between headings, this is the size, do this, and then we'll have an instruction sheet with how to do this.
Yeah, exactly. So there'll be a little write-up on it.
Notepad, just forgive me for asking this question.
Yes.
It's default on every computer in this room, right?
Yeah, and I believe Mac has, I think it's.
They're all TXTs.
Or are we gonna have to download Notepad plus plus on some of these things?
No, it's just
Okay.
Notepad, just regular old Windows system Notepad.
As
So
long as
y'all
it's
will
TXT,
convert on these
really
computers, you
simple.
don't have to download anything, we can do it in class.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So images have to be finished, if you haven't figured that out, that's homework. Good, Amy?
Yes.
Start converting this now, I guess, or is there anything else, Joseph?
No, as far as y'all's in, no, that's about it.
So you're gonna have some alerts if you're like, hey, I'm looking through our section and it says there's gonna be an image here and we don't have an image. That means we need to figure out who it is, or this, or?
Okay, just quick announcement, I don't know how many people saw my message on web courses. Right now, my phone is, I have to take it to get fixed, so I can't receive any text or messaging or whatever, so right now, web courses and email has become my main way to communicate.
So, if you need to talk to JC, talk to him through email. And then we're gonna pick it up on Slack for whatever he says, okay? Yeah, so I think this is a doable plan.
Yeah.
Once we drop it into, is that it for your presentation?
Yeah, that's it.